Zingen zitten.
Good afternoon to all of you and welcome to the Allianz Memorial Van Damme press conference. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here also Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, Winfred YAVI and Nafi THIAM. Melissa, let me start with you. Very, very welcome here in Brussels. It's your first time. How do you like Brussels so far?
I love it, actually. I love the fact that it's a small but big city, but also a place where, you know, everyone can come and be seen for themselves. You know, I do know, or I learned that this is also the home of, I believe, the European nations and then also the United Nations. So, yeah, definitely excited to go and explore the city as well if I get a chance to. And, yeah, just happy to be here.
Oh, nice. We have a Brussels fan. Great. You have had such an incredible season already. Yeah? What do you think made the difference to take that final step from being already, of course, a world-class sprinter and having a bronze medal in Paris to being the best sprinter of this season?
I would say the biggest thing for me that's changed this year is just, well, I would say my mindset was always there, but just being disciplined and, you know, not trying to slack off or not trying to, you know, just fall short in a sense. I didn't want to come into this year with any regrets. I want to be able to say, like, when we get to the World Championships, that I gave it everything I had. I did the best job that I could possibly do. I was the best Melissa that I could possibly be, and that was the biggest thing. And then on top of that, just, you know, thankful and blessed that I wasn't able, or that I didn't have to start out the season with injury like I did last year preparing for Paris, which I don't know if a lot of you may know, but I did start out the 2024 season with the lingering issue from the previous year. So I missed about 2.5 months of training with my training partners. And it was like once we got over that hump, it was really just about, you know, trying to catch my body up to where it needed to be along with the rest of the group. And then not only that, but just getting my mental on the same page as far as making the team and then going to Paris and medaling. So I was very happy with what happened last year.
Okay. And now going into those World Championships, you will be the one to beat, I think, in the 100 meters. How are you handling that pressure, or how will you handle it in Tokyo?
So for me, I kind of look at it as, even though I do have the fastest times right now, you know, I don't have some of the biggest accolades that come with that. So I'm not a reigning world champion. I'm not a reigning Olympic champion. So for me, I'm still the Olympic bronze medalist, and that's what I'm looking to improve on, improving my bronze to a gold. And that's been the thing that's been working for me so far. I feel like every time I go out and step on the track, the Melissa that you see is someone who's determined to not let things be the same way that they were before. And, you know, just focusing on my execution, relying on my coaches, on my training partners, on my family and my faith to get me to where I need to be. So.
Yeah, you spoke about your training group. You have a really good, strong training group. How does that help you in being the best Melissa?
Yeah. Being in Star Athletics, you know, it's definitely, I would say, a plus for me. Joining the group, it brought a lot out of me, just as far as, you know, who I want to be in this sport, but also learning to have that dog mentality and learning to have that type of fierce and competitive side to me. It's like it's always been in me, but it's another thing to have to bring that to practice every single day. You know, I get to train with some of the best in the world, and we bring out the best in one another. You know, we'll have days where, say, for instance, I'm not feeling my best, so I can rely on them to bring me through, and then vice versa. When they're not feeling their best, I'm able to do that as well. And then even when we're in the blocks, like, it feels like it's a world championship every time we step foot on the line to do another rep. And, you know, having that type of atmosphere at practice every single day when it's time to come to these meets, it's comforting in a sense, because I feel like I've been here before. Like, this is something that isn't new to me. And really, I just want to be able to always go out there and, what they say is practice makes perfect, but that's literally what you've been seeing. Like, what I do out on the track in these meets is nothing different to what I've been doing in practice. So.
Okay. Just so you know, the meeting record here is 10:72, so yeah, you might break it tomorrow. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Yavi, over to you. A warm welcome to you too, of course. We'll see you tomorrow in a brand new event, a new mile steeple. Has it been a different preparation for you than the 3,000 meters steeple?
Training has been going on really well. I've been preparing very well with my coach, with my team, with the support from my family. And coming to do this mile, I am really prepared because, it's going to be a very fast split. And racing tomorrow with this brand new mile is going to be an iconic race, and I'm so excited to be part of making history tomorrow in Brussels. Yes.
Yes, it definitely will be an iconic race and a world record. Do you have a specific time in mind?
Honestly, I have a specific time in my mind. We've been working hard with my coach, and also about the splits. I feel like I want to do you will see it tomorrow, because I feel like I want to do a very fast mile tomorrow. Fearlessly on the barriers, yes.
Well, very, very excited to see you run tomorrow. Yavi, you have been one of the most consistent steeple chasers in recent years. What do you think has been your biggest factor in your success?
It's the hard work, staying positive, being ready mentally, physically in training, and following whatever coach is telling me, and keeping up with the training. Mm-hmm. Because getting to be consistent, you need to keep on working hard every day. Yes.
Yes, and you just said it, being positive. To me, Yavi, it seems like you're always in a good mood. You're always very smiley. Is it so, or do you have bad days as well? Sometimes are you grumpy or never? You're always in a good mood, Yavi, because that's what you look like.
Okay.
You don't
I feel like every time when I'm happy, it's good to be happy. Like every time you need to show happiness on your face, because it's not good to be sad every time. So it's good to keep on being happy every time. So yes.
Yes, it's perfect that way, Yavi. We love you that way. Good luck for you tomorrow, Nafi. It's great to have you back here, of course. You're building up very carefully towards the World Championships. How are you feeling so far?
I feel good. I just want to enjoy this season. I think, like I said many times, last year was very stressful. I was worrying a lot, overthinking everything, every competition, and I cannot do this every year. So my body this year really needed more time going back into training after the games. I could feel it was not really ready or following the rhythm I wished to have right away. So I just wanted to be careful, take the time I needed to recover, because I would like to still be there for a few years. And I know I need to take care of my body and not do the same mistake that I did in the past when I was younger. I think I cannot really afford it anymore. So this year was really about taking the time, being careful, enjoying the sport, enjoying what I do. And we plan to start the season a bit earlier, but physically I was just not able to. So we decided to just take the time, listen to the body this time, and see what happens. And I'm just glad to be competing this season, and I'm enjoying the competition here in Belgium to be able to compete at the Memorial, because it's been a few years that I didn't do it. So it's a nice build-up to Tokyo, and we'll see what happens.
What do you think about the long jump competition tomorrow? Any specific distance you have in mind?
No, not really. I think every time I did competition, I never really put like a set time or a set distance, because for me it's also like a bit limiting myself. You know, if I'm like, oh, I want to do 660, and then I do it on the first attempt, I'm like content, and maybe I don't put that much pressure anymore for the next one, so I always want to go further and further. I did a good first competition. It's only going to be my second long jump competition, so for me what is important is to work on that run-up, be comfortable, and have the confidence to go to Tokyo with that, knowing that I'm ready, and also just enjoy to be competing in front of a home crowd, because it's always special to compete in Brussels for me.
Is it still something so special for you, coming here in front of your home crowd? You won 3 Olympic gold medals, but this is still something you really treasure?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Memorial always has been like a celebration. You know, the Belgian crowd, they're always cheering for everybody, but I think maybe extra loud for Belgian athlete, which is natural. So it's always a treat, I think, for us to be able to compete here. Always a pleasure for me. I know the stadium very well, and I've been competing at the Memorial for almost more than a decade, but every year it's like, okay, you really need to enjoy this. It's not going to be forever. So I think I realize that more and more with the year passing, and I really just want to enjoy every moment, and those are very special.
Yeah, we're super happy that you're here, Nafi. Nafi, I saw on your Instagram you've been sharing a lot of pictures of your dog also, and that you miss him. Him or her, I don't know if it's male or female, but I was wondering, how important is your pet to you for your mental well-being? I don't know, do you speak a lot to him, or what? Yeah, how important is he to you?
I mean, yeah, it definitely his family, and I mean, it was a big move for me to move from Belgium to South Africa. I'm a big part of the year, I'm more in South Africa now than I'm in Belgium, and yeah, to be able to bring my dog with me, it's nice to have him. It feels a bit more like home, because obviously it's very, very long period without seeing my family and my friends. It's a long flight, so it's not like, you know, I miss him, I miss them, and I can just fly back for a weekend. So it goes like sometimes 3 months without seeing my family. So to have my baby with me, it's definitely, it feels nice. Yeah.
Next time you can bring him. Any pets? You, Melissa? Yavi? No. Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions from you all? Philippe?
What's your take, Nafi, on yesterday's competition? Did you dry up yet?
Yeah, well, yesterday was really horrible. That was crazy. I'm happy to be healthy. Yeah, it's a shame because that was most probably my only high jump competition before Tokyo. So yeah, it's disappointing that the conditions were so bad, and it's hard to get something out from this. But yeah, you know, it's stuff you cannot control. It's the weather, so it is what it is, and we're gonna make the best out of it. And yeah, I'm not sure what to say about this.
You cannot take any lessons from yesterday's competition.
Well, I mean, that was a competition on a full run-up, but yeah, again, it was full of water. You definitely don't have the confidence to go full speed on such a wet surface than you do when conditions are good. So it was a tryout of my full run-up, but am I really going to do it the same way in different conditions? We could take some technical points that we're going to work on at training, but in terms of really working on the run-up, it's difficult to take something out of that competition, unfortunately.
Nafi, 2 hours ago, actually on Fraser Price was sitting here. How do you look at her a bit? Because she's maybe an example to competing 38 years. She likes to, she enjoys the sport. What does she meant for you, a bit like also maybe the power of women in sports?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky enough to have been able to share a lot of moments with her, with Nike and the think tank, and I think she's an amazing athlete, also an amazing person. So it's definitely, an honor and a pleasure to be sharing time with her. And yeah, for sure, she's an example for me, not just, I think, because of her age, nothing to do about her age, but just her achievements. Like, she has an example career, and anybody that can reach that level and hold it up for so long, it's so impressive. I think to reach the top, it's something, but to be able to stay there and with like she is doing it for all those years is super impressive. So yeah, big respect to her.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. It actually beat me to my question, but I'd like to hear the answer from Melissa and what it means to have Shelly in your field and in your sport.
Yeah, it's for me, I say it all the time, it's crazy how life comes full circle. So crazy enough, 3 years ago at the Cilicia Diamond League meet, that was my first meet as a professional athlete for Nike, and Shelly Ann was in that race, and she actually ran 10.66. So for me to come 3 years later and tie her meet record was definitely like, okay, I think I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do, and just not even that, but the 2022 season for me and just seeing her dominate the way that she did, it did nothing but motivate me to be at least half of the person or half of the woman that she has been for our sport, and especially in the sprints. And so, there's been numerous and plenty of times where I'll just be at home sitting and watching old videos of, women in my field competing years after years, and to see Shelly Ann on top for so long, like she said, is very, very inspiring for me, but also very it's just like, wow, in a sense. I used to think that I wanted to run for that long, but the older I get, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm just gonna, keep riding this train to see how long it goes. But for me, it's always a blessing, and I'm also just very grateful to be able to share a stage with her. And then I know for her, it's definitely something where I actually ran into her earlier in the dining hall, and she was like, congratulations on all those sixes. And I'm just like, I'm trying to be like you did it for a whole season. So, it's just something for me to look at and say, like, yes, that is possible. Like, yes, she doesn't have to be the only one who's capable of doing it. Like, I can do it too. And I think that means a lot, not only to me, but for her as well.
Yeah, we have a question online from The Athletic, it's from Melissa. They ask, 8 out of 8 wins this season in 100 meters. You also run 7 7-11s. What's the key to that consistency? What's the key to coming out and executing time against?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, like you said, is just execution. Focusing on every single part of my race and trying to execute every part of my race the best way I can. I've been known to be a really good starter, and then even looking at me last year, I fell short in a lot of races just because I couldn't finish. So coming into the 2025 season, I wanted to make sure that, I wasn't getting to the end of races and swimming, in a sense. And then not only that, realizing that in order for me to do what I want to do in the 100, I need to stop trying not to run 200s all the time. And so I had the opportunity this year to, run multiple 200s. And when I went to trials, it was just a matter of, just being comfortable in who you are and what you've been doing all year and not letting that change. So now when you see me step on the track, it's literally that, not trying to do anything different, and just staying true to what's been working for me and seeing how far it can take me.
Winfred, it's been over a month since you last raced. That was not far from here in Houston. You said you've been training. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you've been doing in the last month? Like where you've been training? Have you gone to Kenya, or have you stayed in Belgium, or what have you been doing in the last month? And can you tell us a little bit more about how you feel your training's been going? Because, of course, we're looking forward to Zurich, when I assume you're going to be running the 3,000-metre steeplechase, and will that be a world record attempt?
Okay, my training has been going on really well. I really respect my competitors who are coming to race in Zurich, and the race that I did in Houston, I came and I executed my body, and then it was an impressive race that I did at the 6th fastest time. I have been training in Nairobi. I do my training in Nairobi, Kenya, because of the altitude and stuff. So for now, just looking forward to do this mile tomorrow because it's a brand new event, and I'm really looking forward to put the bar high for the other girls and also to keep on motivating the other female athletes to show them that they can reach their greater heights. Yeah.
Question for Melissa, please. What is your evaluation about all these innovations in sports, the Netflix series, sprint, the Grand Slam track? What is, are you okay with that? Are you a little bit disappointed? What is your global evaluation of it?
So as far as sprint went, I definitely had an opportunity to be a part of it, even with the first season that came out, but obviously I wasn't a part of the first season, but then another opportunity rolled around and I was able to be in it for the second season, and I was in there for a little minute, so it was like I was happy for the opportunity, but also, just kind of wish that a lot of people had the opportunity to really see me for who I am. And so, you take opportunities as they go. Sometimes they pan out to be what you want them to be. Sometimes they don't. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. I know, the things that I want to accomplish in this sport. And, the people around me know that as well. And I feel like as long as I continue to do the things that I do, run fast times, go out here and compete at the highest level, then eventually everybody will see that. And then just as far as Grand Slam track, I feel like it is a good idea. I feel like it was something, or it is something, that set out to, bring something new to our sport, and it's needed in a sense. And I don't regret being a part of it this year. I feel like it gave me the platform that I needed in order to show everyone what I was capable of and what I intended to do this year. And so, even though there's been a lot of talk around what's been going on with them and everything like that, I don't regret them. I support them fully because I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to things that need to be done in our sport, and when it comes to change and things like that, it's not always easy or accepted, and I said it wasn't easy. It's not easy, but they took a limb and they stepped out on faith and wanted to bring something new and exciting. And I feel like so far as far as putting out what's the word I'm looking for? They put out a product that was really good, and at the end of the day, it's all about performances and getting the best of the best to line up, and I feel like, for the first year, they did a pretty good job at that. So.
Question for Melissa. You all stayed under the radar in the athletic world. You went to a small college, not in a big NCAA college. How do you explain that?
Yeah, so I actually grew up in a small town as well. So being the underdog, or facing adversity and not being or not having access to all the other resources that bigger schools and other cities may have, like, it's nothing that's new to me. It's who I am. It's what drives me to be the person that I am right now. But I've also it's taught me so much, because the one thing that I have learned from this is that everybody in this life, we all have different starting points. And sometimes we get to cross paths. Sometimes we end up at the same point and we took a way different journey. And for me, I not only cherish and admire the journey that I've taken, but I love it. I'm absolutely in love with the journey that I've taken, because I felt like it's built me to be this person that, no matter what may come my way, whatever anybody may have to say, I'm built for it at the end of the day, because there's been so many times that I've haven't had things that I've needed, as far as, from a track aspect of things, not living life. I've never needed for anything growing up, but it's just as far as that, like being in this sport, I've always learned to just deal with the things that are in my control, learning how to navigate those things and the things that aren't in my control, to leaving that up to God and whoever else is supposed to be up to, and just always not looking for a reason to complain, because there's many people who are, even though I feel like I may not have had the things that I needed, there are people who are way worse off than me, and just always reminding myself of that and standing in that, and letting that or allowing that to carry me through in order to do the things I want to do. So
this is for Nafi. You may have answered this before to our Belgian colleagues, but what were you doing during Gotsis? Were you watching it avidly, event by event, or were you doing your own things and out training? And what was your reaction to Anna Hall's performance, not least of which was the 201 to finish things off? Is it a motivation for the future?
So I was not following the Gotsis result. I'm usually not watching heptathlon when I'm not participating. The goal also for me to be in South Africa is to be able to just do my thing in my corner and, just being at peace. And I think also with the years, I've learned, and I'm always preparing better, just focusing on myself. About Anna's performance, it was incredible. And, for me, I said the last goal that I have in my career is not medals anymore, because I did what I wanted to do on that point, is to try to go over 7,000 points again, and maybe get that European record, because I'm only in matter of PB at 20 points under. So to see her doing that, it was motivating, not in a kind of how, comparing myself to her and wanted to, be in competition with her, even if we are in competition. I mean, we are competing in the same event. It was more like she's doing it, somebody's doing it. It's like those 7,000, it's the only thing that I want to do, so it becomes like that big thing, like almost like a myth, and it's desacralizing it, like somebody's doing it, it's possible, I can do it too. So it was motivating in that sense, where somebody is going after their greatness and they're being great, and it pushes you to be great as well, in terms of, I can be great too, I can do that too. So yeah, definitely motivating.
When you sit at that 7,000 points, what have you learned, the training and the competition that you did? Are you getting to the form that you think you can do it in Tokyo?
The 7,000 point in Tokyo, you mean? I'm not putting like a time limit on that objective. I would be just over the moon if I manage to do that before the end of my career. Like I say, it's the only thing that I really want to do left. If I can cross that off my list, I would have really done everything. It's like, it's more than a blessing. So I'm not like, I want to do it before then or at this competition, or, I'll just work. I do the best that I can. I'm focusing on things that I can control, and, then just hoping for the best, and we see what happens. I think doing it or not in Tokyo, I think, competing with the best in the world is always going to teach you something, or, even if I don't do 7,000 points, maybe do a PB here or there, or because it pushes you to give your everything. So I definitely see it as a long-term goal. I mean, I've been running after it my whole career, so I'm not as naive enough to think I can just be like, oh, I'm going to do this in a few months. I'm just working on it. If I can use Tokyo on my way to get there, it would be great. But I'm definitely not putting, a time limit on it. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, at least I can, walk away from this career without having any regrets, and knowing that I did everything cool to get that one last thing.
I have a question for Winfred. After the whole Faith Kipyegon Breaking 4 challenge, which got a lot of publicity a few weeks back, the mile is kind of in focus a lot more now, and it's quite neat, this idea of a mile steeplechase. I'd quite like it if it caught on. But have you got a time in mind? Have you sort of thought about what a 9-minute steeplechase relates to when you change that to the mile?
Did you say about the time between the 3,000 and 2,000 2 mile?
Have you got a time in mind, the mile steeplechase?
Depending on my training, depending on the training that I've been doing before with my coach, with the team, I feel the mile tomorrow is going to be fast, and I have the time in my mind. I just want to go and execute, give it the best, and see how my body can go fast on the barriers. It's going to be like a normal steeplechase. When I start, it's going to be going direct to the water barrier, and then it's just going to be like a normal steeplechase. So I feel like it's going to be interesting event tomorrow, and I am going to be happy to be part of the history tomorrow. I'm looking forward for a very fast mile. When I saw Faith Kipyegon, she was trying to do this. The sub 4-minute mile, it really inspired me. The way I'm going to do this mile, I'm just going to do to also inspire the young athletes who are coming up to see like we can set the bar high and they can actually follow our steps. So with Faith Kipyegon, she really motivated me when she was trying to do the sub 4 mile. And this feels like it's going to be an interesting event tomorrow.
Hello, I have a question for you, Nafi. The schedule in Tokyo will be a bit particular with all the event of the first day all in the same night. How do you manage? How do you prepare for it? Is it favorable for the European record you have in sight?
It's hard to say how it's going to go because I never really had that. Maybe in Doha, it was also like on short session. But yeah, everything is going to go really fast. And I just hope, depending on the number of girls and how the high jump is going, and that we have enough time to be ready for the next event. A lot of time I finished the high jump and I have to run to the shot put, and I didn't have time to really warm up for the shot put, so this can be a bit against good performances. But in championship it's kind of the same for everybody, and you never know, how the body's going to react. Maybe it's also going to flow, and it's going to be a good thing that it goes so fast. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're also kind of going to finish late, and we're starting the next morning. So it's very special. In Doha, at least we had the next morning off also. So it's going to be a first time. We'll see how it goes. But again, it's going to be the same for all the girls. We're all going to go through the same schedule. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Melissa, Nafi, and Yavi, for being here, for sharing your stories, your thoughts. Good luck tomorrow, and enjoy it. Enjoy Brussels, and thank you also to all of you for being present today.